because when I was looking throughout your book, I was
Right.
like, okay, I got the gist of your
Right.
career, but the
Right.
man Charles Oakley, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I see all flashes in, but then I was like, are you writing
Right.
another book more or less talking about the intricate details of your life?
It's probably definitely be another book,
Okay.
because
All right.
this book got so
Cool.
much. This book got so much juice in it, so much reels, story,
Yes.
the contents about the people engaged with. That's what it's about. People I grew up with, being around celebrities and a lot of people, I met during my career and on and off the floor. But the book is just outstanding. They need to go get the Last Enforcer, and it's from the heart too.
Hey, and I agree with you on that. For somebody who loves basketball but may not be familiar with everything basketball, I tell you, the book was easy to read. So anybody could read the book. I was
It
Right.
excited,
was.
like I wanted to go to the next chapter. I could remember the players' names and things like that. But I thought it was really good because I could see it, I could picture it, and I
Right.
didn't know all the terminology and all the stats and all that. But as I
Right.
read it, it made it easy. So whoever, you guys who wrote the book, kudos to that because it was
Yeah.
easy for those people who are not like avid basketball fans. It's a great book
Right.
that you really should have.
Great point. The Last Enforcer is a book that kids can read. They can learn different stuff, not just about basketball, about life. Incidents
Right.
I had growing up, things I had to get over a lot of hurdles in my life. And you can read this book, and hopefully you don't have to go through a lot of stuff I went through, and stay strong as a kid because it's a lot of fire in this book.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted some fire, if you want to listen to something to make you a parent and somebody that make you really love you and show them that you can be a man, go get this book, The Last Enforcer.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Crossbars, the podcast where we discuss interesting topic while alternative perspectives. I'm your co-host, Big O. Have with me.
Hey, I'm
A
Jay
real big
Shanae back
O.
in the building. The real big O. Back in the building one more time with our special guest, the enforcer, the oak tree, the foul king, whatever you want to
No,
call him, Mr. Charles Oakley.
The legend.
What?
I'm not going there.
Oh,
I'm going back.
absolutely.
All right. First and foremost, let's start it off. Now, you from Cleveland, but
Yeah,
you got your roots in Alabama. Now,
no
you spoke a
doubt.
little bit about that in the book.
Yeah,
Hold on for everybody who didn't see. Let's put it up there. The Last
The
Enforcer,
last enforcer. Yes.
Charles Oakley. But
yeah.
you didn't really go into the why your mom came to Cleveland versus staying in Alabama.
Well, I'm a grandfather, all this. But no, in the South, you know how it go. I think if you go back into history, when people, all from North Carolina, like the Virginias, Atlanta, all of them got a chance to get to Detroit, Cleveland, or Chicago from somebody in their family, cousin, or somebody who came to visit. And some people come, some people stay, some people go back to Alabama. And that was one of them things. My mom came up with one of my cousins from Cleveland, Detroit, but she chose Cleveland. A lot of my cousins is in Detroit, Chicago, and Cleveland. So it was like a cycle thing. When you got old enough to get on your own, want to test the water,
Right.
and they try, get with their family. You don't just come on your own. You come with somebody and that's how I went. And she liked it and came and made the roots. Had 6 kids, and like I said, it's a big family. My oldest brother passed, my oldest sister, so there's 4 of us left. But my grandfather was the stone of the family. What he did in Alabama, how he made a chance for everybody to
Right.
grow, and they're gonna stay or leave. And he was the main head in Alabama because he did so much for his kids. My mother, brothers, and sisters, and a lot of them stayed. 3 of them stayed, and the other 5 left. And I think that everybody benefit from it. Raise their family and everything been successful.
Okay, and that's pretty
Yep.
awesome because when I was looking throughout your book, I was
Right.
like, okay, I got the gist of your
Right.
career, but the
Right.
man Charles Oakley, I was like, wait a minute, I saw flashes of it, but then I was like, are you writing another book more or less talking about the intricate details of your life?
It's probably definitely be another book, because this book got so much. This book got so much juice in it, so much real,
yes,
the content about the people engaged with. That's what it's about. People I grew up with, being around celebrities and a lot of people, I met during my career and on and off the floor. But the book is just outstanding. They need to go get the Last Enforcer, and it's from the heart too.
Hey, and I agree with you on that. And for somebody who loves basketball but may not be familiar with everything basketball, I tell you, the book was easy to read. So anybody could read the book. I was excited. Right. Like I wanted to go to the next chapter. I could remember the players' names and things like that. But I thought it was really good because I could see it. I could picture it. And I didn't know all the terminology and all the stats and all that. But as I read it, it made it easy. So whoever, you guys who wrote the book, kudos to that because it was easy for those people who are not like avid basketball fans. It's a great book that you really should have.
Great point. The Last Enforcer is a book that kids can read. They can learn different stuff, not just about basketball, about life. Incidents I had growing up, things I had to, I had to get over a lot of hurdles in my life. And you can read this book and hopefully you don't have to go through a lot of stuff I went through and stay strong as a kid because it's a lot of fire in this book. If you wanted some fire, if you want to listen to something to make you a parent and somebody that make you really love you and show them that you can be a man, go get this book, The Last Enforcer.
All right. Now, you saying that, many people, especially in today's society, it's kind of hard where people will look at it and say, there's toxic masculinity, where you were always considered, I'm originally from New Jersey, and my one of my best friends, Jay Jonah, was probably the biggest Knicks fans in the world. Me, I've always been a New Jersey Nets fan, but everybody who was a New Jersey Nets fan had to have a secondary team because we were always sorry. So my secondary team was the Lakers, and then subsequently, I love the Knicks, and during your years with the Knicks, I became very critical of your best friend and the person who wrote the forward, Michael Jordan. Over the years, I've looked at and analyzed Michael's career, and I was like, you said it. And that was kind of hard where you spoke about him having the rest. A lot of people don't speak about that professionally. You're probably one of the few people that said, people will touch on it a little bit, but you was like, hey man, we was out there playing against 6 of you guys. And you said it.
No.
And I was like,
hey, that's the truth. I mean, I felt like that sometimes because I know he's great. He do great things, and he make you go, wow. I've seen him practice for 3 or 4 years and playing pickup ball with him. But so, hey, a lot of people like to travel, but he traveled a lot.
Yeah. Wait.
Hey, with no passport.
Hey, if he played now, he had to take 4 steps because everybody.
Oh God!
Everybody taking 3 now.
Yeah. Three is right.
Aiden Simmons taking 3, so he can probably take 4 and get away with it.
Yeah. and you know what? As a Knicks fan and being in the area, everybody knew Patrick from the baseline, the right baseline. He would come in and take 3 steps and then shoot that little runner. And I'm like, he took 3. But Michael, it was getting to a point where I was like, he played against my Nets the first round. And it seemed like the refs gave to him. And then the second round, he got the Yardley. And you saw the iconic photo of Doc Rivers holding his head like, can't believe it. And all y'all looking at the refs like, hey. And then Charles Barkley in the 93 final said, hey, I know he's Michael Jordan, but he got to play ball too. Yeah. But, and I'm like, it was said a little bit about it. But, as his, time goes on, people forget those little nuances, but you brought it back, which was awesome. But I want to talk. Okay, apologies.
No, go ahead. Yeah, it's your show.
I wanted no. No, it's the Oakley time. And I even like how you said the real Big O. I was like, ooh. It's like, But I want to talk a little bit about Virginia Union. We got to talk a little bit about that, brother. HBCU. Why did you choose Virginia Union? And are you probably because you're real tall, large, and from a football state, which is Ohio. Right. Why did you choose Virginia Union versus going football to some of the bigger prestigious colleges in your area?
Back then, when I was coming out of high school, early 80s in Cleveland, it was rough. And I see a lot of my friends was going down the road, getting in trouble, this and that. Hey, I had to get out. I didn't want to be one of them guys that he had talent, but something else happened. So I could have went to some other school, but I wanted to get somewhere like more than 2 hours away, 3 hours away, 4 hours away. Like LeBron does said 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to get somewhere like 8 to 10, 12 hours away. So just that, and just getting away and just trying to stay focused on with my craft and what I was trying to do is go to the education, and whatever happened after that. I didn't know I was going to be a ball player to this extent. I know I played football. I was good at, but getting out of Cleveland and getting my head right, I think it helped me in life from understand that I didn't get homesick or this and that. After 4 years, I went back home one time.
Are you serious?
And
that's not including summers, right? Like you went home during the summer.
Only could go in the summer, but I only went back one time. You can go like for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I just, because like I said, a lot of my guys was going down that road, getting that time and doing things, and a lot of them still, to this day, just not coming home. They was getting 20, they was getting numbers that they don't give, 20, 25
football
years.
Numbers.
And,
yeah, football.
Right.
Well, everybody want low numbers in football now. They were giving soccer numbers or something.
Oh God!
But a lot of my guys, when I was writing this book, and I think that what happened at school, but it's just like it's a lot of stuff, like you said, wasn't in it, because a lot of stuff, like my guys who did go, that my name came up on indictments and stuff. It was just crazy. And then when I got to the league, the same type of stuff. I go home in the summertime, police pulling me over and harassing me. It was ugly. It was ugly. I talk about it in the book, but back at Union, but as back at school, man, if I had to do it all over, I'd do the same thing. I met my man Big Bay, and
shout out to Big Bay.
Big Bay, that's my man. Good thing about it, he played football, wore 34. I had basketball, I wore 34. And we had a great time at school. It was like a family affair, and that's something I needed to do. I had a family affair in Cleveland, but it was just kind of more wild at home. But when I got to the school, I can see that I grew quick with the people because my grandfather, he kept everybody, in-house, or gave everybody a position, a role. Like my aunt and uncles, when they was growing up, I seen how that was structured. And our school had a lot of structure, especially the coach, basketball coach, Jay Robinson. And, I just met a lot of guys down there for DC. And, we just hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Hey, speaking of VUU, Big Bay was talking about something about a fight or something they got in.
Oh,
he kind of stepped in.
Yeah, we got a couple of fights down there. The school there, the football team. So it's in the book. I went to a football game, right, against Fayetteville. You know how it is. They get, guys after the play hit another guy. Okay, 2 or 3 times. The next time, everybody started running to the field, and it was like it was like they school was fighting our school, and I was right out there with them, throwing punches and whatever else. Then here come basketball season. Same thing happened. We were playing Norfolk State. So one of our guys got into it. Now, something was a foul. We were at the free throw line, and one guy from my school, I think it was Mayo, got into it with a guy in the stand, and the thing it was a brawl. One guy got stumped. I don't know what happened. He got stumped like real bad, and it was all on the news. And it was just like everybody was close knit. Everybody just hung together. But we had a ball. I know I did my 4 years at school.
Absolutely, and I'm a Plow, alumnus from North Carolina A&T State University. Okay. Absolutely, and we made nationals when A&T and Central had a big fight on campus.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
That's stuff gonna happen at Black College. It's gonna happen because all them, the Qs, the Kappas, the Deltas, the AKA, something gonna happen. Yeah, that's all they did. When you see 15 people online, 20 of them Black College, they getting stumped down. Back then, there wasn't no hiding out back then. I've seen it for myself. Hey, they were like, "Oh, when you gonna come on board?" I said, "I'm already aboard." this basketball team.
Look, that's it. That's good as it
That's
gets.
it.
That was enough
I
for
hear
me.
that.
I ain't have
Okay.
time.
Now, I hear that you are a connoisseur / amateur chef.
I don't know about amateur.
Oh, you don't know? You're
when
professional?
when you feed people's thousands and people's every months, a year, whatever, they ain't no amateurs.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I apologize.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're professional.
I mean,
Hey, no,
right.
wait a minute.
I know you can play the NBA and shoot 40% from the field and still be a superstar. But from the free throw line, God. These guys, they don't believe in making free throws no more. So you still could be a superstar and get $40 million. But now, when I'm in the kitchen, it's 110%.
I see.
You the star.
I hear that.
You Hall of Fame in the kitchen?
In the book.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. You Hall of Fame in the kitchen?
I might not make it to the NBA, but in that kitchen, I'm going to the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's what I like to hear.
He was on Chop. When you on Chop?
Yeah, I was on Chop. They chopped me up. They said one of those salt and pepper, but we know what it was.
Yeah, we know.
They wanted to look, then they want to get rid of me. That's all.
Yeah. Look, I know it. You put a little bit too spicy.
Marketing.
Come on. Tell me something else.
Marketing.
But it was, what? Good thing about it is good experience, and people can see a different side of me. It's like Dance with the Stars.
Absolutely. I was going to talk about that. I was like, listen.
Hey, I know I had 2 left, 2 right, but you know what? I did it. I showed guts that I didn't do it. And it's time and effort. It's a hard job to do it, but I was prepared. I was prepared for mental, but otherwise for the routine, it's tough. I'm 6'9", wearing size 16, 18. Hey, and them hips wasn't moving every time.
He needed some oil.
Hey,
Tin Man oil.
Yeah, they said down south, timber.
That's that oak tree falling.
That oak tree, yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So now you even spoke about it. So I was like, trying to stay. So how was it? Because those dancers, they're like 5'1", 5'2". You 6'9", you trying to grab her hips down here, so it's awkward. Did they try to give you a bigger person, or it was like, look, this is what you got to do?
You got to deal with it. They said, if you go out in the jungle, or you go in the forest, all you got is a bow and arrow. They give you a knife. I give you a pillow, and you got to do your best with that. But no, it was great though. All the people was on the show was great. Just getting up. You know what? It keeps you humble though, because everybody had to do the same thing, the routine practice and deal with a minute. That minute seemed like 10 minutes because the song, it rehearsed because you do it so many times, it go quick. When you out there performing live, it seems like it's never gonna end.
Wow.
It was fun though. I had a good time. Me and Nelly hung out, a few other the guests on the show, but we had a good time.
Yeah. And looking at that, just asking this question, outside of basketball, some things that you tried, which is pretty awesome, whereas you gave yourself exposure.
Right.
What do you think is more difficult, cooking for a large amount of people, dancing, or even being an assistant coach? Of those 3 things, dancing is the hardest? Wow.
Everything else easy. Cooking, I love that. And coaching, I played the game, IQ.
It's natural, right.
Yeah, so, but I did my routine. The thing about it, finish your routine when you dance with the star. You don't, if you mess up, if you stop, it'll make it look real bad. I know a couple times I got smacked in the face by my partner, but I kept going though. I've been bowling in the face, right. So I wasn't going to let a smack stop me. So, you got to be really focused. You got to be like Chris Rock was when Will Smith smacked him. You got to do you have to finish your routine.
Composure.
Yeah. So Chris Rock should have got Oscar that night because he did a hell of a job acting when he got smacked. Like, I just got smacked.
Acted first, yeah.
Great.
They wouldn't even came up there if you were doing that. Nobody would have came up there.
No, he wouldn't even thought about it.
He would have turned around.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to talk about, little stuff because I really want to talk about everything that's in the book, because go get the book. Number one, I want to make sure everybody support the book, Lives of Forster. All right. But I want to talk a little bit about Isaiah Thomas and the reason why. The reason why Yeah, well, the reason why, hold on, that's what I said, hold on. Reason why is because you went to a team after being traded by the Knicks, which I thought was awful because you were the heart and soul, which everybody from the tri-state area always said. You were the heart and soul of the Knicks. But you were traded to the Toronto Raptors, and he was instrumental in putting together that organization when it was an expansion. That was during your career.
Right, yeah.
So he was instrumental in bringing, recruiting and picking Damon Stoudemire, which was an undersized guard, which was he was a great player as well. And then put it together and had them in contention in a relatively short time. And then when he came to the Knicks, you spoke about some of that in the book as well, but he made the Knicks a contender during that time period. So it's like, I know you had issues with him and some of the things he probably said over time. And he said something recently about you, about, I didn't like that he brought your name up. He didn't say
he's a little, I mean, he's from Chicago. He think he did. He trying to let Chicago live his tough life for when he says something. Oh, I'm from Chicago, this and that. So what? Michael took your city. But anyway, he's a guy. He's stuck on why they didn't put him on the dream team, this and that. Let it go, Isaiah. Now, other day
it's in the past.
It's in the past. He said something about LeBron and KD. No, Giannis. I don't forget about it. Like I said, Giannis, I still stick with what I said about Giannis. I don't care what nobody say. He's struggling against these guys, and he didn't have a chance at 80s, 90s. But he said LeBron ain't a GOAT no more because he ain't made the playoff, and KD's not a GOAT because he got swept. Who is you to make all these decisions, Isaiah? Every 2 weeks is something else, Isaiah. So he looking for a lot of attention. He was a good point. I hate to say he was a great point guard. He was really good point guard. He maybe should have been on that dream team, but he rubbed people. When you rub people the wrong way, and you rub some big dogs the wrong way, and they can control the situation, control the narrative.
Yeah.
Hey, you hurt your own self by doing a lot of this little sneaky stuff. Chuck Taylor didn't want you. Then try to say Michael and Bird, all of them kept you off. They didn't pick the team. They was just on the team. So when they said players run team, I don't believe in that. I've been around like Mike, never spoke up, tried to make it, don't do this, don't do that. They might do a little more of this era about guys, this and that. They're so sensitive. But if I was anybody who want to listen to somebody who in this era, like, let them come to me and talk about how you can put teams together and win a championship, it's got to be LeBron James. Because he make everybody better in all situations. And with Isaiah be talking, he just blowing smoke. When you're blowing smoke, I mean, he just be frustrated because he feel like back in that, when they left off the dream team, that hurt his career, this and that. No, he had a good career. You won 2 championships, you're a Hall of Famer. Let it go.
Yeah. So and the reason why I was saying that is because I currently live in Charlotte, Queen City. I heard, I didn't even realize you were a coach because I've been to several games. And like I said before, I was critical early of Michael Jordan. There was one instance where he really hurt me. I was a college student, and Harvey Gantt was running for a Senate seat. And the famous statement was, Republicans buy sneakers too. And it was like, he didn't say it because in context, when you read the book, it was like his mother was the driving force behind a lot of his decisions, which was super awesome. But I like, during that time, I was like, okay, I can't ever support anything. I was like, so anti-Jordan. But over the years, he has put so many people of color in position of power down there at the spectrum that I had to say, oh, listen, he put a lot of brothers. He put Paul Silas as a coach. As soon as he got in line, he put a whole bunch of brothers that
were giving
a shot. Correct. Look, he gave the GM, the assistant coaches, gave guys who wanted to get into coaching, assistant
Sam Benson, head coaching job.
Absolutely. So I want to make sure I say this about him, that, over the years, people, remember that statement way back then, but they don't see the work that he's putting in and all the donations, because sometimes he don't want the spotlight, but he paid with, he support with his pocket.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because he really, in the last 10 years and did a lot of stuff, like I said, people don't know about, built a couple of schools, donates a lot to charity. He just don't do stuff for the publicity. He just do it for the heart. And I think that when he played, athletes wasn't doing a lot of stuff like that, like what LeBron do. Maybe some of these KD, Curry, off the court. Now, you can say Magic, Bird, and M could have, but I think if they would have back then, the league would have been different in a way that salary back then could have been more. But when your best players don't voice their opinion a lot, the owners don't tend to do things unless somebody, get on them like LeBron did about these salaries and this and that, and they can take a less deal and get a bigger deal later. Don't lock their stuff in. And another thing is about these contracts is a lot of these guys in our era say, well, I wouldn't have jumped on the team. You don't know what you would have did. It's about a few $100 million, $200 million.
Right.
But, I don't mind guys jumping team, but hold yourself accountable though. When you just hold yourself accountable. You go to a team and you get the money, then don't want to play. Just go out and play and ball out. But I feel bad for the fans in that city who cheered for you for 2 or 3 years. Now you want to leave because you don't feel like you're the man who can move the needle. You want to go play with somebody else. When you make max money, you should be able to move the needle. You should be able to make your team a force every night on the court. But it's not like that no more. Guys getting max. You get 2 or 3 guys, team getting the max, and they still can't move the needle. It's just so much money. It's so much money out there now that they got to give it to somebody.
And I watched the Last Dance, and there was part about Scottie Pippen about his contract, and they never would change it and all that, and he went through all that. I never even realized that even happened that way. But looking into all of that, when it talks about people being on a team and how it's geared toward whoever that main star is making the most money and all that, even though the players around are helping you get to where you got to get to. Why do you think it's like with the branding and all of that? Why does that make, that's not fair to the other players who are playing just as hard as an MJ, but they're not getting the money or the recognition as him? Why do you have that one star player? Why did you have
Well, in the 90s, 80s and 90s, that's how it was built. Your superstars going to get all the, advertised for commercial, NBA stuff. The NBA stuff is real selfish because NBA look at you, if you ain't got a ring or championship, they don't want to deal with you. Just like this year, All-Star in Cleveland. My first charity event for my foundation, I had a 3-day event in Cleveland. I had got in touch with the NBA like 6 months before about doing something with me, come to Cleveland. You only come every 25 years, and this is the last time I probably would see it. They didn't do nothing with me. Out of 4-day weekend for All-Star, they had 20 events. It was a historic Black basketball game. They didn't let me coach it. It was it was like another game. They didn't let me coach. They didn't invite me to a cocktail party. They didn't invite me to a meet and greet to the game or nothing. I don't know what it was and what's going on, but I'm going to find out. When I do find out, I'm going to blow it up.
Yeah.
Because that's some total
I know that's
disrespect.
right.
They knew a year before Van, who from Cleveland, and I played in the league 18 years, and you don't offer me a bone in my city. That's like a smack in the face.
Right.
So when I see somebody from the NBA, I really think had some hands on, like, don't put me in nothing to get me involved. But they was watching me because I could tell by social media or this and that they was following me. For some reason they didn't want me to be something. I don't know if they're trying to come at me because what happened in New York, but what happened in New York, gonna stay in New York, but what happened in Cleveland, gonna stay in Cleveland. But when I find out who cut the head off the snake, I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah, and that was years ago. That's crazy to hold a grudge like that for so long.
Well, petty people do petty things.
You're right.
I'm gonna show them you still can't mess. No matter what it is, you can't get away with stuff with me.
Yeah, and
going off the court. Go ahead.
And the awesome part is that you are beloved in several places. Number one in Virginia, because you're a Virginia Union legend. Probably, I would say between you and Ben Wallace would be the biggest names. There were other NBA stars that played there, but you and Ben Wallace is probably the premier people.
Oh yeah, Ben just went to Hall of Fame, so
correct.
Shout out to Ben. I got Ben at Union from Alabama.
Right.
I had a basketball camp, and me and my assistant Jeff Warren, we brought him to Cleveland with the Tri-C Community School. Then we went to got down to Virginia Union.
Yep. Absolutely. And I watch this. Now in Cleveland, straight legend, Same thing. Saw a young guy, LeBron, when he was in high school. Same type of thing. He was a little older. Ben, I think he was in middle school when you reached him. But LeBron in high school. So you kind of have this knack of saying, people gravitate because, just like myself, respect you from afar. Never met you, never seen you, X, Y, and Z. But how you carried yourself, you always carried yourself as a man. You didn't compromise. And sometimes that's very difficult in this day and age, because when you were speaking about the 80s and 90s about Magic and Bird, some of those guys, I was like, there was a player that spoke up. His name was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but you saw how the NBA has treated him over the years.
Go ahead. I'll finish. I want you to finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, he didn't get like a coaching job, a GM job, and everything. They just put him as a liaison. But like, to me, Kareem was the greatest basketball player ever. And I said this, I'll say it. They had a dunk rule in college because he was coming. He dominated 3 years in high school. He dominated in college. And then he has the mark in the NBA as the most points ever. He has the most unstoppable move. And he played in 2 eras where you had the greatest, most unstoppable man ever, Wilt Chamberlain. And he played partially in the Jordan and Magic. He played in Magic, but the beginning of the Jordan era. So like Kareem, should really have statues everywhere, because I think he was the bridge between Magic, passing the baton to Michael, then passing the baton to, Kobe. And the baton has passed, but there was a time between Wilt and Russell that was Kareem, and nobody acknowledges that.
Yes, well, talk about Kareem. It's a lot. Probably one of the smartest guys who played basketball. Gotcha. He went to UCLA, won 3 championships, come to the NBA, won 4 or 5 championships. But it's another side to Kareem. They say you can see on the cap, there's always 2 sides to it. It's been Kareem was the guy real hard to get along with people. He didn't get along with a lot of people. He was in a shell. He didn't talk a lot. He was political, this and that. And, Bill Russell was the same way. Them old school guys who went to bat, who made NBA what it is today. Take my hat off to them. But Kareem was a moody guy. He didn't do this, do that. And would sign autographs, take pictures, something like Patrick. Patrick, something like this too. They get the numbers on the court, rings and awards, but like I say, it's always something why it didn't happen. And I think that, Kareem won championship, Patrick, we didn't. And I think that if you watch a lot of these teams, and you got to trust your players. And I think in New York, we didn't have a lot of trust. We played hard, and, every game went down to the wire. But we just didn't, like I said, trust one another in big moments.
Absolutely. And you said that in the book, whereas, I looked at it, between the lines where I can elaborate. Michael Jordan had to pass to Paxson for him to hit the shot. Kareem said, Patrick Ewing said, I'm going to shoot this fade away because I should have passed it over. I should have do that. But
go ahead.
Oh, the most infamous play in anyone that watched the New York Knicks history. Well, it was 2 things. The Van Gundy snap in the morning. I don't want to talk about that. But the Charles Smith putback. Yeah. Oh, everybody's heart was broke.
But you know what? If we had the rules that NBA got now,
he would have been attacked. Yeah, it would probably been attacked.
No.
He got mugged under
there. Was instant replay was showing he got fouled.
Yeah,
and he'd been at the free throw line.
True.
So now they don't need instant replay in this era, but when you need it, it wasn't there.
Facts.
When it was tough and rough, that's when you need it. When it's soft, and it's soft now, now they got like, really?
But, you got in trouble. Look. Listen. Oh, if they have instant replay, if you have instant replay.
Mine's been showing twice. Hey, if I did it then, I'm gonna do it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
One thing about me, one thing about the book just came out, the consistency.
Okay.
I ain't go out to hurt nobody, but you in that paint, you in my lane.
You call it my lane. Okay.
That's my lane.
Hey, talk about the in lane.
That's Alabama HOV lane,
Ain't no limits.
Yeah. Master P said,
Bars. I was looking at a book and you were talking about that, going in the lane, you got a lot of fouls and all that. You got a lot of fines too.
Yeah,
and so in the book, you talked about one fine alone was like 50 grand for one, and then another one I think you were suspended for like 3 grand, and then 15, like like $220,000 in fines. With that now, but what do they do with the fine money? Where does it go? What do they do when they fine players?
They sort of give
a lot of money.
They sort of give it to different charities and different types of things like that. Yeah.
They need to give it to the WNBA and then get them so they can get a better salary. Question. What about that?
Great question. I'm glad you brought that up because when that happened to Brittany, I was like, if the NBA owners really care and the NBA care about WNBA, they would raise their salary up.
Yes.
And stuff the lowest salary should be maybe 300. The highest should be like a 1.5 or something. Because my thing is, the owners making so much money. If Brittany was making if she was making $1 million in the U.S., WNBA, she wouldn't even be going over to Russia and playing a second league.
That's
she'd be staying there, endorsement and living her life. She got to travel and try to support her family, and you never know what can happen in these other countries. And she out there now by herself. They wanted to be quiet, this and that. No, we should stand up for her because she should be over here supporting her own country instead of in another country trying to make some money.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed.
And I don't think we're doing enough to really get that, because right now, we've had guests that talked about women's leagues and women's rights, and it's like, wait a minute, let's put our money where our mouth is. And
this is the time.
Yeah, this is the time to do it.
What it mean too, and everybody else. I mean, now don't back down now. I mean, fight for what you believe in. And I know it's a whole different country. It's something that we don't want to get too much involved with, political. But hey, they got somebody who stands for a lot in the U.S. and and she stands a lot for the WNBA and what she have done for a female that size and win championship, MVP.
Yeah.
And just make females, give them hope in life. Because you're tall, just get yourself together. You never know what can happen. Play volleyball, you can play basketball. Just do something. Don't be lazy.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that is pretty awesome. But right now, we got a little segment, right? What I do. All right. I'm going to ask you a question, like just the quick ones, right? And you're going to either pick one side, the other, or you can say both. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to start you off little lobs. All right. But it might get you in trouble, bro. All right.
I'm gonna catch the ball.
He can handle it.
I'm gonna catch him and just make it layup. I'm gonna make my two free throws.
Listen. Here we go. All right. New York City pizza, Chicago pizza, or if you want to put Cleveland in there, I don't know because I saw some weird stuff. Which one you going with?
I'm going with New York and Chicago, both. No, it was 3. So New York then Chicago.
Okay, New York then.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Chicago.
New York City hot dog or that Cleveland sausage dog that you was talking about in the book where, it was just Cleveland.
Oh, you talking about I never had a hot dog in my life.
What?
I was talking about Polish boys.
Polish boy. That's what it was.
Polish boys. Yeah, right.
If I had to go, I'm gonna go Polish boys because people love Polish boys.
Yeah, I never heard that. I was like,
he said I never had a hot dog.
I never had a Polish boy.
I'm telling you.
I never ate neither one. But I know people love them Polish boys because you can put coleslaw on them, then you put the French fries.
Yeah, buddy, absolutely.
I'm
from West Virginia,
but I never been in my stomach.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, North Carolina barbecue or Tennessee, and I say / Alabama barbecue. Which one you like better?
Probably North Carolina.
Okay, West Virginia.
All right. No, you ain't in the category. West Virginia. No, West Virginia ain't in it. I'm talking about the premier.
I gotta add one.
The premier. Okay.
Big Bay's barbecue. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, now watch this. This one. Look. Gave him the lobs. As a point guard, who you like better, Muggsy Bowles or Kenny Thompson? Yeah, I read the acknowledgments too.
I mean, I gotta go with Muggsy. Muggsy made the NBA. Kenny's still my man. I mean, real is real.
right, look. That's what I said. Look, I read everything. Now I did my research. Okay, you already told me LeBron versus MJ in the book. Read the book. I ain't gonna. Look, I ain't gonna. Don't even answer. Read the book. He said he spoke about that. Read the book. All right. So look. Now I'm gonna get him in trouble. This one is a hard one.
You gonna get me in trouble?
But,
I'm already the police. How you gonna get me in trouble?
No. I'm talking about social crime.
I ain't a dirty police. I'm a good police.
Yeah. You go. All right. What's this? Ohio players or Parliament Funkadelic? Huh?
Ohio players.
No. You said Parliament. I heard him.
No, he was thinking. He was thinking.
Yeah. He's thinking. So you said Ohio players over
Parliament?
Funkadelics?
Ohio players.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a little hard. I know. You was like, wait, George Clinton.
Ohio players.
Okay.
But he has a friend, though. He got a friend that was in.
No, that was the OJ. That's why I didn't do it, because I was going to do OJs. Yeah. Look.
Right.
I was going to do OJs and Isley Brothers, but he would have picked the OJs. I was like, Yeah.
It's hard against. Hey, see the thing about it? They legend. It's hard to go against the legend.
Absolutely. And the catch is that, I'm like, you got friends and everything, but he went to Virginia Union, so I know he'll know about parties. They was jamming back then.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but,
You know what? It was like a lot of go-go and DC came.
Oh, no. We're going to get there. Okay. We're going to get there. I told you.
Come on.
Yeah. So now, look, the 96 Bulls or the 2017 Golden State Warriors?
I'm going what I can. I'm going what was my family, the Bulls.
Oh,
Mike and Scotty. I like Draymond, Clay, and Curry, but
KD on that team too.
Hey, KD doing what I was doing earlier, trying to see what the score was against Dallas and Dallas and Phoenix.
He watching the game like you. He had the crib.
Well, I was just trying to find the score. I wasn't watching.
Yeah. All right. Listen, this one a little more tough. Julius Randle or Zion Williamson?
I'm gonna go with who playing? Julius Randle.
Okay. All right. Yeah, technically. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's easy.
All right. Okay.
I thought you had something hard.
Oh, okay.
No, come on,
All
right. Broussard or Stephen A. Smith as sportscaster?
More comment is Bruce Broussard, Stephen A. Smith. If you just want to be scream and shout.
Okay, got you. All right, now listen. Northeast Groovers or Backyard?
I'm going what I know. Backyard.
Okay, Backyard band. All right. Okay, all right. Look.
Bending. I thought you were real
Look, because listen, I just found out that because some things I had to scratch off. I just found out you was married in 2016. I said you was notorious, and I ain't speaking on it because you're married. I was like, look, you was notorious in the tri-state area, brother. So that's how.
Nah, I was a good guy. I don't want to hide nothing, married or not. I mean,
okay, yeah,
I'm 100%, 110% proof.
Oh,
what I did. If I didn't do it.
Okay, so now,
right.
okay.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the wife is doing her thing too.
Well, look at me. I still got the ones. He got to come on. All right, Jabbar versus Shaq. Which one you going
with? I mean,
yeah, that's hard.
It ain't hard. I'm gonna go with who I played with, I played against, and I know what he did for a championship. And Kareem might have been more of a smoother player with a hook, and just a natural runner. But I'm gonna go with the Diesel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A better power forward. Charles Oakley or Charles Barkley?
I'll give Barkley better. I'm not a hater.
Oh, okay. Listen,
he might be a better player.
Oh, wow.
But I'm a tougher minded.
Okay.
I'm gonna be tougher minded.
Okay. Look. I was gonna keep. I was like,
he can't handle that. I mean, I can walk around. He can't. I ain't scared out here.
You ain't scared.
That's right.
No, I ain't scared.
Okay. And the question,
know me.
Yeah, look, and since you said you ain't scared, I ain't scared. I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is a harder record to break? the 33,000 that Kareem for the points, or Wilkes 20,000? You know what I mean.
The points.
Oh wow! You think? Hold up.
You got
You telling me
technique.
somebody
You
gonna
don't
break
need nothing.
Wilkes? Wilkes 20,000 women?
I don't know if anybody
Somebody
wants to
might
break
can.
Wilkes.
He said somebody. Hold up now.
I mean,
He said somebody might.
No. No.
I mean, who can believe Wilt though? I mean, so
You don't believe it was done. You think that was?
I don't think that's why he ain't getting a lot of championships, because he was, he was doing too much other
He
work.
wasn't focused.
Facts. Yeah.
He should have had. I think Will got 1 or 2.
He got 2. Yeah, he should have had like
5
10.
or 6.
Yeah.
So back
in his day. But now watch this. You said The Last Enforcer. I believe there's a clone of you, and he's just about. I think he might have. Yeah.
No.
Watch. You gonna agree when I say?
No, I ain't gonna agree with you.
Udonis Haslam is your clone. Udonis Haslam is your clone.
No.
What?
No.
He is an enforcer. I promise you.
I ain't saying he was an enforcer. I'm the top. It's like different policies.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so he can be an enforcer, but I'm number 1.
That's right, bars.
I'm
gonna give you a hand clap on that. Thank you, Mr. Oakley.
Kermit Johnson might have been before you.
It ain't like we trying to see who can score the most points and do all that.
No.
Hey, I just feel like that. Hey, I'm gonna go to my grave with that one.
Yeah, but I'm like,
hey,
like Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, I like what he do. I ain't knocking that. I like what he do. Get in people's face, let them know.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay.
When you, like you said, sometimes weight, height make a difference.
Oh yeah. True. Now, yeah.
You can be enforcer, but when you have to go with that 1-on-1, you gotta do what you gotta do. But now I like Donna Hansel. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him.
No, absolutely. I know, and I don't want you to. That's not what we're doing. So now, if we take five man's man, you had to pick your start lineup. I ain't talking about points. I ain't talking about rebounds. I'm talking about in the mold of Charles Oakley. From Cleveland, Ohio, York, Alabama. Virginia. Virginia. To New York, to Toronto, and you said, look, I'm gonna pick 5 players as I consider them our man's man. They doing the things like the right way, and they're doing things right. They're loyal, and they always look out for the people that they love. I'm quoting from the book. 5 players, and remember, I'm not talking about points, All-Star, Hall of Fame. You take 5 players. Who are your 5 players you take?
Number 1, LeBron. Number 2, I like. I mean, it's kind of a tricky question, but number 2, you can give me Junior Bridgman.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with him.
He used to play with the Bucks. Got like 50 Burger Kings and 50 Jiffy Lubes.
No said.
I mean, like 500.
Yeah.
Wow.
He do a lot up in Kentucky way.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, I go 3rd. Mm-hmm. Not because got a big profile, but I'm a grown man.
Correct.
Number 2. Number 4, I mean. I'm gonna put Mike in there.
Okay, MJ.
Yep.
Put Kyrie in there. I like Kyrie.
What? Okay, Kyrie. That's a little different.
Kyrie, he made it.
I like somebody who can make a difference, make it kind of interesting. Kyrie would make it interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now,
I think that these guys, like a lot of these commentators, need to stay off Kyrie because Kyrie getting paid from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn ain't mad what he doing. Why we all mad?
Correct.
Just let it go.
Right.
Absolutely. Bag up. He really getting too far out there. I know they say, "Oh, this is what our job is to do: talk about situations." But talk about Aaron Rodgers didn't run the ball in the Super Bowl. Talk about Brett Favre. I'll be talking about when black quarterbacks get paid.
Absolutely.
Talk about them.
Yeah, because they didn't speak about when Aaron Rodgers didn't take the vaccine.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers should have ran that ball in. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah. He should at least, if he did get stopped, he'd be on the 1 or 2 yard line, been 4th and 1 or 2 instead of 4th and 9.
Yeah, wait a minute. You done tripped me up. Who's your favorite football team, Mr. Oakley?
Cleveland Browns and the Giants.
Okay, all right. At least you got a good winner there. The Giants, they suck, but we getting there. All right. So now you said
Shout out to
this. Now,
Junebug. Wait a minute. He's the barber for the Cleveland Browns.
look, wait. I want to know one thing. Look. Now we get a hard one. Did you ever put something in your head, brother? Because I want to know, did Oakley had an S curl, or is that just natural juices and berries from Cleveland?
My hair? No, it's natural.
Yeah, because we saw.
I just cut it. I'm letting it go back.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
2 months ago, my hair was like this long, crazy.
Wow,
yo, brother.
I cut it because I started my book tour and try to be a professional. Sometimes you got to just show different sides.
Okay, fair.
But I'm finna let it go back out. I don't need, I'm letting it go back out. Let people know that even though I'm about 60, but I'm still functioning.
Oh yeah. Oh no, most out. But you got your hairline. Me, it's gone. And I'm like younger than you. So I'm like, you got a hairline. So number one, you are a winner.
You know why?
Tell me why.
When I stopped getting a hairline about 40 years old, I told the barber I don't want no line. Because your hair gonna go back anyway when you get old. So the barbers make you go way back. Because we always want to make you look fresh. I said, know what? I'm gonna look fresh. The haircut don't make me. I make myself. I just need the hair because.
Hey, bars.
All right. So when you out partying, because you may mention Patrick want to tag along with the big dogs, and y'all be messing with them. But tell me, who you like besides Mike? Because we know that you and him is real tight. Besides Mike, who you like hanging out with when you want to have a good time?
I don't know. I was like back in the days when I was in New York playing and going out, we all like the celebrities and rappers and, for Steve Style, Derek Coleman, a lot. I mean, all Kid and Play. We used to always just get together. I mean, like, it wasn't like that, we had to be with the same circle every time we got together. But I mean, somebody can call me and say, hey, something going on, come by. Somebody I just, always New York, always like stay in touch and let you know what's going on. So I just stop by party and have a good time. I don't always have to go with somebody. I can just stop by and just enjoy myself. I don't do too much, sit down, relax. And when I'm at a party, I don't move around a lot. I just get in one space, comfortable. Try to enjoy the moment.
Right.
Yeah, you can observe that way too. Be like, it's time to roll out.
That's me, very observant, see what's going on.
Okay.
You gotta see what, you gotta see the temperature in the room. So some places, you get in there and just, sometimes you might have to just leave because it might not be your type of crowd, your type of people,
Yeah, you mentioned that about the the Source Awards and after party. So absolutely, read the book, get the book. He speaks about it. Get the book.
Get the book.
Get the book.
I know it's Mother's Day. We're trying to wrap up, but I did want to touch on. You said he was married. I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to your wife, and I know she has and your mother. She has the business with the lucrative life, the financial boutique. I know a lot of the guys that are in the NBA, some of them don't manage their money well, and you seem to have done that. Is there any type of classes you guys offer them, or is any MBA? Is there something in the NBA where people can talk about money with the young guys, or move, so they can make some good investments?
Well, I think the NBA do a lot with the players, programming wise. They got smart back, start saying they didn't have a lot of stuff for guys to do in the summertime intern. They have a lot of that. And so when guys stuff do happen, they can say, well, we all had it here. They tell the players, so we have meetings during the season about stuff, financial, this and that. No, it's just the financial guy and, the Uncle Sam wants to get a third, you spend a third, you say the third. So you try to use the third system and ain't too many different ways to go by doing stuff. But if you got a big family or whatever, a lot of people you grew up with, just got to tell them, hey, it's just I can't do so much forever. It's just I got to have a plan for myself, my family, and hey, I can try to help you better yourself with getting you a job, or try to tell someone that he's a good person, maybe to hire you, or just you gotta be responsible yourself. You just try to tell them you gotta be responsible because I'm in a different state. I have to be responsible, getting up, going to work, knowing my system with my team. So it's a lot of stuff go along with it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So now we go into some of your playing career. What city you felt had the best looking women?
Canada. Toronto.
I want to move to Canada.
God, over DC.
Toronto.
Goodness gracious.
LA, New York, Miami is always but
okay. Yeah. All right, and that's good. And tell me, why did you decide to get married late in life? Because they was running after you, Charles, in New York. They was running after you.
I don't know. I just I don't know. My daughter and just trying to see. I said I never gonna get married, and I almost made it.
I did too.
You almost made it. You almost made it.
He said he almost made it.
She got me.
It's just I just wanted to see some. I don't know, man. Just got married, and hey, it is what it is, and I'm trying to keep my head straight. It ain't easy. I'd rather be in the ring with Mike Tyson. I'd rather be in the ring with Mike Tyson.
You rather be in the ring with Mike Tyson than this? Okay.
Look,
all right.
Look,
let's move on. Hey, let's move on.
Look, no, listen. LL was on Drink Champs, and they asked him about how did you stay faithful to your wife all this time, and he said I took her with me. He said he took her on tour. He said when she with you, you good. You can't do everything.
Yeah, I can't take. Hey, my wife wanted to go anywhere with me. I'm faithful though. I'm too old to be out in the streets like that.
That's
she think all the girls want me though.
Listen, I was out in the streets, and when you walked into the party, look, you and Anthony Mason was like Anthony Mason and Jason Williams was names. We go to the Peppermint. Anthony Mason. Like, come on, man. It's like, damn. So anyway,
that's my man, Jay Williams.
That's your man.
That's my man, Jay Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. Lived in Jersey, so that's what I'm saying.
Jason Williams, that man.
I know, but at the same time, you going to different places. What do you think about being a GM? Because coach, I think you're good as a mentor, but constructing teams because you have a lot of insight about that. What do you think about that?
I think it'll be good. I mean, my thing is, in this day and age, it's tough because talent, it's not like it used to be. And, these players, we don't know who's going to get better once you draft them or who's going to stay the same. In our era, you had to get better. In this area, you can stay the same and still get the same money. You still get paid. And, so putting the team together, it's going to be tough in these day and age because, like I said, the draft picks is, they're good in college, but now they're going to come to the NBA. And I think that it's easier to come to the NBA now if you can play. A lot of these guys come out, can't really play, but they just been pushed through the system and went to Duke, Carolina, Kansas, went to a big name school, and they drafted him because they said this guy can play. And bona fide players, it's hard to come by. That's why you don't see these teams growing much as they did in the older days because you got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful, this guy, you might get upset, you might lose him. They said, when I was coaching, they said, well, you can't say this, do it. I was like, why we got this guy in? We got to monitor him like that. We can't say nothing to him. Yeah. So it's a tough situation. I think that it seemed like it's going back to the old school little basketball. With Golden State messing up everything because they playing so good with small ball. And a lot of teams try to go small ball like Brooklyn this year, and they just got swept trying to go that way. Stay with your bigs, stay with the system, stay with something that give yourself a chance. I know they had KD and Kyrie, but I think once they made that trade last year for James Harden, it killed their whole chemistry for guys come off the bench, playing their role. And I think that you need good guys off the bench to win a championship. And if you look at Golden State with Josh Poole, Josh Poole, the 6-man.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, yes. Yeah. And he playing outstanding.
Absolutely.
And
Clay might have to go. Clay might have to sit the bench. They had Curry coming off the bench.
Yeah, well, he was hurt. Curry's Curry. He's a landmark. It's something that if you go to Golden State, you won't ride past his house because he's a landmark.
He's a national landmark.
He's a landmark. He's one of a kind. He changed the game for shooting threes, changed the game. You can be small and still be successful in this league. Change the game as, just study somebody. I know his dad was one of the best shooters, so he had somebody.
You played with him in Toronto, right?
He had somebody to look up to, but he looked up to him and looked past him because what he's doing now is his dad couldn't do.
Yeah.
His dad could shoot, but he didn't gravitate, got his team, he got kids, he got everybody watching him because he's just a silent assassin. And he just, no trouble, no bad history of doing nothing. raising the family and, his wife and his 3 kids, I think. But he's special.
Okay. So you
he's
came
a special.
in.
He like the CNN. It's a special report. That's it.
A special report. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we got to talk about a little bit about your coaching. The big three. Yeah. So you got a little spoke about that with Stephen A. But how do you like coaching and that? And how do you feel about the big three?
I think it was great. Ice Cube to come up with it, give these guys to come out of the league who don't have some solid to do right away, get it 2 or 3 years to get under their belt. And the big three is something that they can come and play. And it's basically a lot of, guys who didn't get a lot of burn and people really didn't know. Now you come to the big three, like he played in the league, you can see him play. But the only bad thing about the big three is it's on the 14th second. And we got a couple of James Harden who dribbled the ball 12 seconds, maybe 2 seconds left. So, but no, it's good, brother. It's good for all the guys to come out and have a good time together. It's no egos tripping. And I think after the game, everybody get together and sit around, talk, tell jokes. But it's great for, like I said, ex-athletes to come and just show their talent.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome. It was a few years ago that NBA had a lockout season, and the NBA players got together and did something that I thought was so phenomenal that I believe it scared the league. Some of the superstars like Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, they got together and they were going to different HBCUs and playing exhibition games. And during these exhibition games, thousands of people were coming to many of these small high schools sometimes, but many of the small HBCUs and coming, and they basically had their own league. And I thought of the Negro League. And I was like, man, I think like, the newer, younger guys, they got their finger on the pulse, but they just need to just go ahead and tip it and really challenge because we're not doing that anymore. And that's like, okay. But at the same time, I see you and being from, Ohio and being LeBron, and I can see your thumbprint, in some of his decisions, like, yo, y'all really doing that. I can't even look at my fellow people from New York, New Jersey, or even California. I'm like, it seems like y'all Midwest cats is like, nah, man, we from the deep South. We know what the real is. And so that's what I'm like, what do you feel about that?
I felt that was good. All them guys, like I said, they really got something special that we had when we played. They got a lot of guys. LeBron is the head of the snake, and a lot of guys dive in and follow him. And because he's been a great gentleman on his whole 19 years in the NBA, nothing but a stand-up guy. He fight for different, social justice, different things out here. Structure. He's more structured than anybody I've ever seen play basketball on and off the court. He got a plan. And I'm glad to see him still trying to play and still focus on, because this league is, he still keeping the lead above water, even though Curry and KD is superstars on their own. But LeBron he's just been a blueprint for so long, and he never showed a weakness in his blueprint. What he's trying to do, and he really feed a lot of people out, But especially people who come to see him, he still can sell tickets on the road home. And he's just something special that the league never had before. We had Michael Jordan. He used to sell out like crazy, this and that. But LeBron on and off the court saying, I know I never done this in no sport. He just, like we said, if something happened, they voice their opinion. I like that from the league. But the only thing I don't like about the league, a lot of these guys who are in the league don't hold themselves accountable with their own team or franchise. And I think once LeBron leaves the next couple of years, maybe you're going to see a big difference in the league, how, outside of basketball, how, what's going on in the community, population, who's going to be the next LeBron in the next 3 years after he leaves. Okay. After he leaves the next 2 or 3 years, who's going to be the next LeBron to step up and put his, your contract on the line and fight against the power?
Yeah.
I don't know. He got that school. He has a school that he, created there. Actually, one of our guests that we had on was on the 30 for 30. I think he kind of was executive producer of that with Jay Williams. Right. And one of our former Crossbars guests, Dr. Charlene Brown, she was actually in that 30 for 30, and she was talking about that. So that's the first time I really learned about the school and, what he had to offer. So, but definitely got a lot of things going on. So Got one more thing before we start wrapping up. What you got?
Yeah, come on. Okay, we got to do a campaign of getting James Dolan up out of New York. All right, so we got to do something. All right, that's number one. All right,
okay,
and then we got to talk a little bit about Giannis. You made some statements about Giannis, and I'm like, yo, fam, he's 7 foot and he's getting better, but he looks like he's gonna be the next face of the NBA.
Yeah, well,
and he's developing a jump shot, so it's like 7 foot jump shot, that physical, he putting on pounds, and he's getting to the rim. It's like, and he could defend. It's like, all right, it looks like LeBron, he's coming in that mold. But he's from Greece. That's the only bad thing.
We got to pump them brakes. Make sure, it's 18-wheeler, not a pickup truck.
Bars.
Hey, hit the brakes a little. I know you got a lot of weight behind you. That pickup is 18-wheeler. Giannis got a lot of potential to do a lot of different things in the league, but he'll never be another LeBron. I think that what he's doing is special. Guy who started basketball late, got drafted 2014, 15, top 15 player. First 2 or 3 years, But the last 2 or 3 years, last 2 years for sure, he been going downhill like the 18-wheeler. Yeah. So he ain't got no breaks. But he just showing his strength, and Steph Will. He's a great athlete, and he's showing his athletic ability every night on the court. For his getting to the rim, come up, jump shots still, basically the same. Free throws got a little better. The Bucks, they got a guy that can every year they can pin to win between 55, 60 games. I'll tell you that. But after that playoff, if Middleton come back, and I think that they have a good chance of repeating, but we had to see what happened. But Giannis really impressed me in the last 2 years. But I made a comment about he couldn't play back in the 80s, 90s because, like I said, when he first got in the league, he couldn't shoot the jump shot, free throws, none of that. And he couldn't go in the 90s. He wasn't gonna just go downhill. He had to have some breaks.
So he had to develop something.
He probably would have jackknife because he would have definitely had to make some free throws.
Ran to the oak tree. He'd have ran into the oak tree.
Not just me, but other team game playing for him. If they say they're building a wall for him now, what you think would have happened back in them old days?
Yeah, they would have built the wall. Then they had some stumps out there. Absolutely.
They building the wall now. And he barely can get through there. I'm like, no. We would play the one-on-one. Made him just shoot jump shots.
Yeah. And
that Euro step, they weren't gonna work back then because somebody been right there to block it off.
Yeah. Well, it changed during your time from a big, primarily a big man. It started changing, because it was like the premier big man, and that's why I technically don't call Tim Duncan the greatest power forward. I personally say it because he was always a center, went to Wake Forest, was a center, came in the league, and they saw the direction. It was like he cannot physically keep up with the Patrick Ewings, Shaquille O'Neal's, David Robinsons of the league. So we're going to make him a power forward, but he can bang with them. And that was the same thing with Kevin Garnett. But at the same time, it became a guard dominated league because of Michael and how he transcended the game. Right. So that was.
I got a good question for you once you get through talking.
Oh, absolutely.
So you said Tim Duncan, Giannis, right? Greek freak. Who would you take if you started the team?
If I was taking, like, of all time or right now?
No, whatever. Close your eyes and pick a team. Yeah.
It's real easy. Now, my all-time team. Look, all-time team. Listen.
No. I said between Greek freak and Tim Duncan, who would you take?
And I would take
Made you think.
Yeah, I would take Tim Duncan because of fundamentals, and he has a decent jump shot as well as good low post. But if you're talking about upside, because it's the same thing where you're taking a player from potential. So if you look at the upside, I think Greek Freak's upside. So if I was drafting and you get to see his upside, I think Greek Freak has the potential of being way better than Tim Duncan because of his athleticism. So it's just like, watch this. It's just like Shaquille O'Neal coming out in 91, 92, and Christian Laettner. You knew that Shaquille had a better upside, but if you looked at their college career, by far Christian Laettner had a better college career.
You said, say it again, you say?
I said Christian Laettner was the best college player, and he was a great college player, but the Shaquille O'Neal had more upside. So you have to take Shaquille O'Neal because of the upside. But if you say right now, and they go the upside of Giannis,
they gonna tell you to get off your podcast saying that.
you don't think that Giannis being 7 foot, dribbling the ball from the 3-point line,
tell him why?
You said Christian Laettner, Shaquille O'Neal.
No, you got me wrong.
What you just say?
I just said I was using the upside comparison. Christian Laettner had a better college career. However, Shaquille O'Neal was the better player and had better upside. You got to take Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Chris. Okay, I'm sorry.
I
take that one back.
Oh, okay. I was sweating, bro. He was gonna kick you off the podcast.
Shaquille O'Neal never made it to a college. He played 3 years in college, was a dominant force, and never made it.
He had no coach.
Yeah, true. Look.
Back then, that's what I'm saying. Talent. You had to be able to play back then. Giannis, right. That's all I'm saying. You make my point right there.
Yeah.
He wasn't no cakewalk because he was Shaq.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he he did his thing in the league, but people, he ran into people, something like that. No, we don't care who you are. You still got to put the ball. I'm on the court, you on the court. You still got to put it through the hoop.
Absolutely.
We move out your way.
Yes.
Wow.
Look. You got some men out there. Absolutely. It's men out there. Absolutely. Look how the sound, but where? There's men out here. All right.
Go ahead. We got that straightened out. So okay.
Yeah, we got it straightened out. But I was saying like the upside of it. But at the same time, like when we start looking at totality, we have some differences here and there. We know that they're great. And number one, let me say this, make sure disclaimer. I have never been an NBA player. I've never been on that level. I've been a college athlete. That's it. Right. So speaking of it, it's just our opinion. So like when Shaq says I'm the most dominant, I said, well, you may not have known that Wilt Chamberlain, led the league, led his team with assists too, and rebounds and points. So and you can't say he had a co-star in Philly, which he played mostly of his career. He had no co-star. People can't even name the other player with him. Right. So now when we, all these things, but me, I love sports and music. Now, why in the world did you not marry Holly Berry? Because when you said you was close, I'm like,
we were just friends. She was just real cool. I like Holly. She was a young girl trying to get a career, and she got her career. Look what she is today.
Man,
right? Exactly. Bruh.
It's okay.
Exactly.
She happy with her life. I'm happy she in a good space.
Divine order. Everything happened the way it's supposed to happen.
Living a great life. It's okay.
I ain't saying that.
There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead and cuff that. She from the crib too.
Yeah.
All right. Listen. All right. But one thing I want to ask you, didn't touch that because I know that's coming for the next book. You said you're a father and you have a daughter. You have how many children? Just one?
1, 2, 3.
Oh God. Okay, wait a minute.
No. They just had a daughter, yeah.
Just had a daughter. What? Hold up, you're a granddaddy? You making your own grand?
No. 5 years old.
He's a girl.
Like, goodness gracious, brother. There we go. There we go. Oh, you give him his face. I got 3 daughters.
He's going. Yeah.
He's still alive. He ain't shooting blanks. Damn that. That's what I'm talking about, Bo. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like right then and there, that's letting everybody know he still got a headline and he can put it down. That's what look right there. Like me, I ain't want to. You don't keep mine down.
You might well take that back. Hey, they said when you get your hair on backwards, they make your hair go back too. So
yeah, listen, it don't matter no more. I cut it all bald.
He got a 5 head.
I got a bald.
Why you wearing a hat? You bald headed.
Yeah, because sometimes sun get in my eyes and I look like I'm cool. Say I'm messing with you, but absolutely, it's cool. You have children, you got a family. Father's Day's coming up. What would be the perfect Father's Day gift for you?
Man, I'm not picky. I just want a good meal, sit back and relax. I don't go overboard on these holidays and this and that. I'm just glad my mother's still ticking, and I get a chance to see her every other month. You know, just I don't need nothing special. You know, I'm the best cook around, so she can't cook it. I cook.
Yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to talk to some people, man. We're gonna have to get a cook-off, like the NBA.
Yeah,
cook-off.
please do.
Yeah, we got to do something because right now I live in Charlotte.
Ain't no one dish. You gotta make an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. Ain't no one dish.
Oh, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down.
You gotta come. You ain't gonna just bring somebody else. I got one dish. No.
Yeah.
You gotta.
All right, you got a main course,
2 meats,
an appetizer, and a dessert.
Yep.
Okay.
You said 2 meats? I'm writing it down for real, y'all.
Well, 2 meats and 2 vegetables, you know.
2 meats, 2 vegetables. No
2 meats, 2 vegetables. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Appetizer, and then you got to get a dessert.
Yeah, definitely dessert. That's how your skills.
Okay. So if you was making the best meal for Charles Oakley, what would it look like?
Oh no, it's tough. I mean, I make a lot of good meals.
You picky.
No, I can cook. You know,
okay, so
about that.
Yeah, so what's the bill? You
we gotta go there. Oh, we gotta go.
Oh man, come on.
I don't know. Because I mean, like on a special day like that, Father and Mother, you probably want some type of good sea bass, risotto rice, the Brussels sprouts, and maybe bread pudding or peach cobbler or something. Or you can come back with if you want to go pasta, you can go lasagna with some broccoli, with some maybe apple pie. I don't know. I go on and on.
Hey,
maybe
we gotta go. We gotta taste it.
You know what? If you want to go get, hoodie, I can go oxtail, some cabbage, some brown rice.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting some cabbage.
Wait, I'm asking. This is gonna be the hard question because I'm gonna start trouble on crossbars right now. This is gonna be my last one.
No,
I'm starting trouble. You or Patti LaBelle in the cook-off? Who winning?
Me. She might make a better sweet potato pie.
A better sweet potato pie. He said that's it. Only pie.
I'm propped in here.
And they don't get the great reviews though.
Listen,
unfortunately,
because Patty, that's what she was known as.
Yeah, I give her prop. That's what she got. That's her money out. She got advertising. Everybody's a pie. I mean, hey. If you put a lot of nutmeg in it, it's gonna taste good. Nutmeg and butter. It's okay.
Right now, listen. I'm trying to set this up, and I'm gonna be right there. Like,
so you have a cookbook? Yeah, you have a cookbook coming out?
Coming out.
Yeah, cookbook coming out. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely cookbook. So with all your success,
I just did some on Fox Soul last year. I did 10 episodes of Chopping It with Oakley.
Okay. Wait. What's the name of the show again?
It was Chopping Up with Oakley on Fox Soul last year.
I'm about to watch that.
I was cooking celebrities' favorite meals, so it went well.
Okay. All right. And
I'm check it out.
I'm checking it out.
Check it out.
I thought I knew everything Oak, and then I learned some stuff, and it was pretty awesome. And I was like, man, some things was asked. Some stuff I was like, nah, he ain't talking about that. Let him go for the next book. I want to talk about your family, wife, the journey, and even the father.
I want to talk about successes. Since you got so many successes, you leave here today for Crossbars. What's your recipe? You did a lot of great things. You got a lot of successful businesses. It's happening. What's the key to basketball? What's the success for you? What's the key to that? We're a podcast. We're starting off, but we've been to go where we gotta go. What's your some recipe for that?
Recipe for what? Being successful in basketball?
Being successful just in life in general.
My life is, as a kid, you have to find yourself. When you start growing up, you get to know yourself, and once you know yourself, you got to present yourself. Once you do all that, you got to respect people, and it's gonna be some ups and downs. Everybody go through them, but it's how you bounce back and how you get back. Like having a flat tire. Once you fix it, get back on the road. Once you fix it flat, don't think about the flat. Think about where you have to go and where you're trying to make sure you be successful in life, and just stay with your journey.
Stick with it. That's the key. Stick with it. Absolutely.
All
right. So where can we find you on social media? Where can anybody find you? Where can we find the book?
Best thing, everybody always gonna say Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google me. I'm just like a map. Google me. I want to keep
Google me.
Google me, son. Google
when you go to social media, you see something in your mind change. When you Google me, it's all about
me. Bars. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
All
right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Go ahead, O.
Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Mr. Charles Oakley.
I'm glad we got together. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate your time and energy. Read the book, loved it. Right now, when I see you, I'm gonna come up to you, give you a shake your hand, put it out there, and then look. Right now, I'm working on that. I'm about to call some people I know, like Charles Oakley said, he taking all comers in that cooking. If you want the salt, look,
hey,
say you want that sauce.
If you know somebody who play Big Wiz too, because I don't play spades. I learned that in the second
grade.
Big Wiz. Look like you a talk man the way I was seeing it. You a talk man.
I do that too.
Hey, I can play talk man.
But when we play tongue, I don't play for fun. Big Wiz, I play for fun.
Oh, okay.
So I'm giving a break.
Big
Wiz. I still can have fun. It ain't always about money.
What? Hold up, wait a minute. You black and Midwest, y'all look more like a pinochle people.
Nah, I'm gonna pinochle shit.
You don't do pinochle.
I rather play go
That's
fishing.
for real old ladies.
What about go fishing?
Oh, man, come on.
Solitaire.
Yeah, that's bad. Look. Yeah. Like all the old school cats, they like pinochle. Like spades is young people over here. Now you said Big Wish. That's like, whoa. That's way back in the day. All right.
We got to work on that. Cook off and Big Wiz. So thank you again for coming out. Check us out on Crossbars, KROSSBARZ. Peace.
Peace.